Well, I just got a call from some idiot who took his sweet ass time trying to catch a Steelix and got punished as a result by some schmuck who went and bloody caught it on him. So, sucks to be that poor bugger. Right, so the haul for today, it's just past midnight, so I've got access to Pastoral Sound stuff. And it's actually quite larger than you might think. The Swellow was... I'm pretty sure I said this in the previous segment that I needed to get a Swellow. I went and picked that up. Kadabra went and picked up. I was pretty confident in being able to put it to sleep and catch it, and thus that is exactly what happened. Exploud was in Union Cave, down the bottom floor, with Meridian Sound. I just sort of forgot to go get Meridian Sound stuff from down there, and thankfully I managed to pick it up before midnight came along, because I'd have been pissed off if I had to wait another week before getting this. The other thing that you find along with this is Licky Licky, so you don't have to get one from Route 44 at all if you actually remember to go back down there with your freaking Meridian Sound and not be like not be an idiot like me. Anyways, everything else here is stuff that's evolved but you can't find in the wild. So everything here I went and picked up additional of like in the wild and then evolved them. This one here though I just bred because again breeding from level 1 is just going to be far better than trying to raise the damn thing up from like 25 and get it to evolve there, because it's not going to evolve until like 40 or some shit like that, so it's going to be a bit stupid like that. So all I had to do is get it from 1 to 27 and I now have a Blissey. Gardevoir and Gallade, I just picked up a couple of Curliers on Route 43, evolved them through their particular necessary methods. Executor, same thing, Route 43. Ludicolo, just took advantage of Meridian Sound and picked up a level 4 Lombre and evolved it, so now I have a level 4 Ludicolo. Yay. Delcatty's in the usual place. Mismagius is in the usual place. Honchkrow you don't see here because Honchkrow actually can be found in the wild, unlike this. Similar story with this. You can't find Ludicolo in the wild, but you can find Shiftry as a radio sound Pokemon in Kanto. Electivire and Magmortar. I think I picked these up like 20 minutes before midnight, so I was able to get those in quickly. Roserade I just bred for. I could have waited until the morning and picked one up from Ilex Forest, but I decided to just breed for it, get it out of the way. Yanmaga I had to wait until Pastoral Sound, since this shows up in Pastoral Sound. Well, no, Yanma shows up in Pastoral Sound on Route 47, and that was probably the best place to catch it, so that it had Ancient Power. And so I did that, got myself a Yanmaga, then I went and picked up 3 Tyrogue, evolved them into its evolutions. Hitmontop was the most obnoxious one to get my hands on, because you need it, like, in order to evolve Tyrogue, it's the Pokemon that it evolves into is dependent entirely on the attack and defense stat. You get a Hitmonlee if its attack is higher than its defense. Hitmonchan is the opposite, and then Hitmontop is if the attack and defense are equal. I had to give this thing 2 rare candies just to give it its attack and defense equal to evolve it, and I decided I would take it because I spent about 20 minutes trying to catch, just resetting, catching Tyrogue, seeing their stats, and then resetting over and over and over again just so I can get this damn thing. So yeah, I've used 2 rare candies on this, but I'm going to take it anyway because I'm done trying to catch stuff. So that is it. There are 2 slots left, which is convenient because I still have 2 more Pastoral Sound Pokemon to pick up. And that is in Mount Mortar. I'm pretty sure I said in the previous segment that I wasn't going to do Mount Mortar yet. I'm going to go back on that, and we're just going to have a segment full of caving. And as I do this, I'm going to bring up the Pokemon playthrough of the day, since I've got more than enough time to talk about this one. Bring it up like this. That's a bit better. Making sure I don't lose my freaking recording like on that other one from a few segments ago. Because there's not really that much else that I need to do once I have Rock Climb here, so there's no point in putting it off at all, so figured I might as well get it out of the way here. Actually, I have to go back because I need Waterfall. I also gave Rock Smash to this Tropius, so in case I need it. There it is. Dropped Talia from the side. I think there's only like 2 trainers that you have to fight in Mount Mortar from where I can actually go through it, so it's not really that big of a deal. Can you piss off Goldane? I found out that apparently if you're playing Pokemon Emerald, Goldeen can be encountered on Route 102 if you surf, but it's only a 1% encounter rate. Which kind of just bewilders me, because why the hell would something so shit be incredibly rare to find? But apparently it just is. So I believe this is the second room. So I'm going to put a super repel up here because I don't think there's anything here that we need to pick up right now. I am just going to, first off, fight this one random guy. And his name is Hugher. Oh, and he's got a Kinga. Great. As if I didn't have enough freaking issues as it was. Yeah, I got everybody up to level 50 just in case I decided to go check out the Battle Frontier. I might just put off the trek up to the Pokemon League until Monday and then just do the Battle Frontier in a big video on Friday or something like that. Because I don't want to go partway through it and then wait until next week to do the rest of it. It would just be kind of pointless like that. But anyways, I've got the old mate here in the form of the dowsing machine, because we're going to need to use it because there's a lot of items in here. Whether they're just sort of laying around in broad daylight like that max potion, or if they're just hidden like that, they're going to be freaking everywhere. So this is why I've got to bring up the Pokemon playthrough of the day, because there's not much else I can really talk about here aside from just another playthrough. You're hidden in here. I could probably have picked it up from the water, actually. God. It's a good thing I didn't open up the dowsing machine again after that, because open the dowsing machine, 2 steps later, your repel wore off. Yay, I have to go and frickin' do the same thing over again. And I have no idea, like, what directions I should go, like, if I jump a ledge, how far I've got to backtrack or stuff like that. Like, here I don't really have to backtrack too much, because, and I imagine it'll be worth it, but I guess it's kind of worth it if you're lacking in the flying move department. Actually, do I have... Is that my second Aerial Ace TM? Because it might be. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it to Golbat. I don't really plan on giving it Fly, and the difference between Wing Attack and Aerial Ace is that Aerial Ace doesn't miss. So, why the hell not? Oh yeah, and there's a quite large difference in power points, but I don't think running out of PP has ever been a bit of an issue for me at all. So, no real reason to blow up about that. Run into something. Yeah, just... I don't even know why I brought up the Pokegear here. I guess I'm just not really paying attention. Okay, so... Brain Fade out of the way. Where the hell is that other hidden item? Because there's at least one more in here. Well, that's just a regular item. That's escape rope. That at least gets me out of here. God damn it. I'm just going to put it right there. And that way I don't bring up any more stupid frickin' music. Okay. Actually, you know what? I think this is the third room. Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm a bit of a derp like that, but whatever. I'm gonna go back up and around through here, because this third room has both of the Pokemon that I need to get my hands on through the thing here, so I'm just gonna sit around here and try to run into them. Okay, so there's Azurill. This is the first Azurill that I've come across, but putting it to sleep should ensure an instant catch. Apparently that just didn't want to do that, but whatever. And then the other one is not Azurill. The other one is not Golbat. Okay, show me the other one. Thank you, there's Clever. And it's a male. It's like a 1 in 4 chance of getting a male, so that's kind of cool, I guess. This thing can stay asleep for more than 1 turn, or even better, get caught. That would be nice. Those were a bit more annoying than they had much of a right to be, but whatever. Full heal. I think that's about everything. Okay, cool. That was a weird tone. It's like, okay, cool. I don't know what the tone was with that, but whatever. Okay, so I've got both of those. This is another area of the second room, which you have instant access to as soon as you are able to get here. And there's not much to even talk about here. There's just more hidden items. So you get to hear the obnoxious just beat, beat, beat shit. I might not even be able to get all of them here. There might be some hidden items in areas that I can only access with rock climb, and I'll obviously be coming back here off screen to pick those up. There's nothing much else to show off here aside from one thing in the post game. So I could easily just wait until that's the case, but we'll have to see what happens. I believe if I go down there, I don't think I want to go down there. I will throw a save state, and if it turns out I don't want to go down here, then yeah. Well, there's another trainer at least, so I guess I could sort of roll with this. I can cut out if I need to. Okay, so they just sort of got each other confused. Do you have a Kingdra? No, you've got a Slowbro. You are far easier to put on your ass. There we go. Yes, you did. Okay, if I go down there, I'm probably going to not be able to get back. So I'm going to try to pick up whatever items I can. Another escape rope. There is that item. There is a Soul Rock. I think that's one of the rare Pokemon in here. So I like how I just sort of ran into that without any real effort. Max Potion. Is this an item? Yep, it's an Ultra Ball. Is there anything else that I can grab? Oh. Oh, okay. If I had okay, well, if I have... There's a Duskstone, which I definitely don't need. Only other Duskstone evolution is Honchkrow in this generation. And I don't need to evolve a Murkrow in order to get that, so... I'll go ahead and pick that up. That is a Nugget. There's that area there, which is Rock Climb. That's Rock Climb as well. It appears as though this area is sort of just isolated from everywhere else, and it looks like I'm going to have to cut away and then return once I'm back in an area that I actually want to be in. So I'm just going to just sort of leave you here with this Rhyhorn while I go and do that. Alright, back here now, so I will try to find the actual direction that I want to go in order to get to the place that I really actually want to be. I think we want to go down in this sort of general area. Yeah, here we go. That's the ladder that we want to take. Grab the Max Revive, see if there are any other hidden items here. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said that, like, earlier in the segment. Just, good thing I didn't actually bring up the thing there, because, yeah, having to, like, open this up, then just have to immediately turn it back off just to bring up a repel. And of course I get screwed over anyway. I believe that is in an area that you need Thingus for, so I'm not going to worry about that for right now. I'm just going to head down here. Any hidden items around here? It's picking up something in this rock. Max Revive again. I like how I'm finding a lot of Max Revives. How many do I have? 6. That's not a bad shout. That might be a decent number to have for the Elite Four. Alright, Pokemon playthrough time, as I finally reach the Karate King from the dojo in Saffron City. I've only got 4 Pokemon to fight this guy with, because I've obviously had to get some slaves to get here. But I'll lead with Bulbat, because she seems like a pretty decent shout. Let me throw a save state, and we will hopefully be met with some success. Right, just the 2 Pokemon, so I'm going to take a wild guess and say that it's Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Yep, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Level 50 as well, though. That's a bit of a... Anyways, after X and Y, obviously we had the Hoenn remakes in the form of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Obviously I went with Alpha Sapphire first, and since I found out that the Hoenn starters all got their own Mega Evolutions, I had to work out which one I wanted the most. Blaziken already had his from X and Y. It was like a promo thing. When X and Y came out, you just get a speed boost Torchic. And so from there, they just added the other two as Megas in the Hoenn remakes. And thus, I went with Treecko as my starter for this playthrough because its its final form has a Mega Evolution that is a Dragon type. That is all good. That is not, however. I'm actually pissed because now I have to cut again and go all the way back through that fucking maze just to pick this goddamn Tyrogue up. And you know, the fucked up part is I actually knew that was going to be the case. I told myself, remember, free somebody else in the party. Make sure that there is a free slot left. I go here, and then it's just like, no, you don't have a free slot. I hate when I forget something, and it punishes me to a point where I quite literally just have to do all of this bullshit. Go all the way back. I should have just used Fly and gone back. It would have been quicker, but whatever. So pissed. Anyways, yeah, I've got those now, so now I just get to put something away. I'll put Traptrix away. Alright. I will cut back once I've gotten back to the Karate King and he has handed me my Tyrogue. Alright, made it back. It was a bit quicker when you actually know which path you want to take instead of having to just sort of backtrack because you were stupid and went down the wrong path. But whatever. I freed up a space in my party, so now I have the Tyrogue from this guy, and so now I've got that entire evolutionary line in the collection. Indeed it does. And I think I've already talked about the how you get each form, and at the rate this one's going, it's going to end up becoming a Hitmonchan. So yeah, the Tyrogue is needed because, as I've mentioned earlier in this LP, it has the Fist Plate. So that gives me my 6th plate. And so now I will go ahead and grab out one of my escape ropes and get the fuck out of here. Thank the Lord for that. So now that's out of the way, what else do I get to do in this segment? Well, there is one other cave that I haven't neglected to explore over the course of this LP. We're going to go and have a look in there. I don't think I need Gyarados, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to need this Rotom for Flash. It's because we are going to go and have a look in Dark Cave. And this is where I'm going to talk about the rest of my team. I was going on about my Treecko, obviously because its final form's Mega Evolution was Dragon type. I couldn't say no to it. And so well, I could say it was the obligatory dragon. I mean, it was the only one because I didn't have much access to any of the others. I couldn't use... Okay, well, there's the Reaper Cloth. I will just mention that that's completely useless because you can find Dusknoir on the wild anyway. But yeah, like Salamence, I had already used Altaria. Salamence wasn't until late game, and I don't want to use it again until I have access to its Mega Evolution, so it's most likely going to be in a ROM hack. And by access to its Mega Evolution, I of course mean actually being able to use it at some point in the game instead of just sticking with it throughout the majority of the game and then not getting the Mega Evolution until post-game, because that's not that correct, because I don't really have much of an opportunity to use it at that point, so yeah. Black Glass has increased the power of dark moves. It's just, you're just sort of chilling out around here. But yeah, so I had to have the Treecko as my kind of dragon type. I believe if I go down there, it'll take me down out to the Violet City end. When I would rather that not be the case. So I'll just move on here. Damn it. Gotta surf all the way back there. Oh well. Elixir. Okay, cool. Alright. So the Treecko received the name of Gaia Charger, named after Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. I think Gaia Charger is like a shortened sort of nickname-like thing for it, so I went and stuck with that. I think it's all part of the fact that its ability as a Mega is Lightning Rod, which renders it completely immune to electric attacks. Not that it really makes much of a difference, it has a quad weakness to electric attacks anyway, but in this case it just sort of says, no, fuck you, you're not hitting me in the absolute slightest with it at all, so yeah. Obviously I think I had like Dragon Claw on it just so it had the ability to get some use out of its dragon typing. Yeah, might as well go and do a bit of exploring in the Violet City end, because I think there's another way up to the Blackthorn end if you go in this direction. There might also be some hidden items in here, actually. Yeah, whatever. So for my fire type, I used a Torkoal. I had a Torkoal back in just the random Emerald playthrough. I'm not even sure if I've talked about that one at all. But I decided to use it again because I figured it was worth having another crack at. What is this? Max Ether. Okay. This one I named Skarm, after Skarm, Malabranch of the Burning Abyss. Yes, again, it's another Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference. I think it had, like, I think it was basically just designated as my sort of bulky wall type mon, and I just sort of sat there and took beastly hits and just sort of said no to anything that tried to hit it hard. Just like, no, I'm just going to tank that shit. Screw you. So it was pretty good. I used an Azumarill. I used one in my first Sapphire playthrough, but it was kind of useless. Here it was a lot more useful because it had huge power, of course, and it was part fairy, so it had a lot more diversity about it. I named this one Buoy Bunny because it is a bunny that floats around like a buoy. Not a very original name, unfortunately, but yeah, it's there. It served me well. It had the combination of Waterfall Superpower and Play Rough. Obviously, those three together is just freaking dynamite, and it proved itself quite well. Next, I used a Manectric. Had access to its Mega Stone quite early on. I thought you challenged me to a rematch. Actually, no, you gave me a phone call and I just ignored that phone call. Okay, whatever. I'll just sort of deal with that then. As I go and at least do a bit of exploration of the battlefront here, I will do a bit of explaining of that once I'm done with this team. I have 2 more team members to talk about. The Manectric, of course, was a Mega, since I had early access to its Mega Stone. I named it Crackle, because that's kind of what Thunder does, it crackles. So, again, not very original or unique, but whatever. Oh, you're the Move Tutors. Ominous Wind, Air Cutter, Sand Headlight, those require a lot of BP though. If I could save state and abuse my way through the Battle Factory, then I might be able to give these out. Why anybody would want Mud Slap though is stupid. Snore, Synthesis, Warrior Suit, not too bad. It don't seem like a huge amount. I guess he's only offering the ones that the Pokemon that you select can actually use to begin with, so I guess that's kind of not bad. Awesome thing about this Manectric is that it had Flamethrower. You can actually teach it Flamethrower. So it had the electric typing to deal with shit, and if anything like Thatch, Shaft, wait, what? Kfar, rearranges letters, Thatch, Shaft. What the hell? That old man is a bit of an idiot, but whatever. Well, if your home is like in another region, then it sucks to be you, but if it's somewhere in this region, then go back and get it. Like, dude, whatever. I'm just going to talk about like the Crobat that I used in this playthrough now. I named it Rouge. This is the Alpha Sapphire I'm still talking about. Crobat named Rouge after Rouge the Bat from Sonic the Hedgehog. I went and bred for one with Hypnosis. A bunch of TMs here. Separated into physical, special, and then the changing attacks. So if you want to get any of these, then that'd be nice to have. Assuming, of course, you get the battle points to do that. I'm not very confident in my abilities to do this, unfortunately. But I could give it a crack. I don't know what these scratch-off cards are good for. You use a battle point, and you just get stuff like berries. You might be able to get something valuable, like a nugget or something like that. You might even get something out of the ordinary, like maybe you get a Master Ball out of it or something like that. But I haven't the absolute... I've got no idea if that's actually the case, but... Yeah, Rouge, it had Hypnosis. It was not modest, unlike Bulbat here. So it was actually a lot more useful than this thing will ever actually be. I don't know why I'm riffing on this thing, but one thing this has over Rouge is that this thing's shiny. So, good advantage. Good advantage. And then the last team member I had was a Metagross. I could not give it a nickname because it was actually the event Metagross that was distributed from the launch of the games. And thus, it was actually the shiny one that came with the Metagross site. So, I had my shiny Mega Metagross, and I am happy to report that I kicked Steven's Metagross to the curb in the long-anticipated mirror match. So it was quite good. I did not have... I think it had, like, holdback for, like... It's like another version of, what do you call it? False Swipe. But I got rid of that quickly, because I didn't really need it. I think one of my other team members had False Swipe on it. It might have been Gaia Charger, but... There you go. My intention was to get a completed Hoenn Dex, because I already had the complete National Dex thing going on X. I didn't actually end up succeeding in this, in getting the Hoenn Dex completed though. Instead, I wanted to get some of the legendaries from that in a competitive way. Like, I wanted to get some competitive versions of those legends that you find in those games. And so I took everything, sent it up to Gen 7... Everything good, mind you. Send it up to Gen 7 and reset the game. That's probably going to be the last playthrough that I talk about, assuming that I get the last egg, because it's a mystery egg run. And I've got 5 of my team members, but I just need 1 more. So, yeah, this is a bit of a shitty end of the segment, but I'll go through each of these. I'll just go through a brief description of each of these Frontier facilities. Battle Hall... actually, I'll explain that one last, because I might jog my memory before then. Battle Tower is about as generic as you can expect. It's just battles, just straight battles, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, whichever one you pick, and you just aim for the heavens. That's about it. This is the factory. You use rental Pokemon in these, and you try to win battles. That's the only difference that it has with the Battle Tower. You just use other Pokemon. And so that's probably going to be the one that I spam the shit out of the most. If I'm ever actually going to use my battle points for anything, it's probably going to be from that. The Battle Arcade. This one, I believe, is the one where you just fight on a... It's like a game board sort of thing, and if you have to stop like the game board somewhere, and it can either benefit your Pokemon, your opponent's Pokemon, detriment yours... detriment your opponents, or maybe just nothing else happens. I'm pretty sure this is the one that does that. I could go in and actually inquire about this. Info, yeah. That's the one. 7 matches in a row, you get the battle points. Yeah, it's just sort of there like that, so it's kind of cool. Here we have the Battle Castle. And the Battle Castle gives you a collection of points, and with each win that you register, you get more points, and you use those points to heal your Pokemon, rent items out for them to use, and all that sort of stuff. And you have to sort of rank yourself up in order to get access to the better items and better perks and stuff like that. So this is probably the most RPG thing in the entirety of Pokemon. Just about. It's kind of funny because the entirety of Pokemon is an RPG, but this just adds more to that. So it's probably going to be the one I do the shittiest in, because I didn't even know how to manage my use of castle points in this. Which means that the Battle Hall is probably whatever the hell it is that I haven't explained, which is something that I probably don't even remember. So there you go. The battle hall is... enter one Pokemon of at least level 30, two of the same kind of Pokemon, they're at least level 30 each. Yep, I remember this one. You basically have to choose a type of Pokemon that you want to fight against. And also, like, all of them are accessible, so you can pick, okay, you want to fight a fire type for this first one, or you can go for maybe a water type next, and then maybe an electric type, and then when you beat a trainer of a certain type, it just gets stronger and stronger. Like, so if you decide to just go with like 10 straight fire types, they'll just get stronger and stronger and stronger as the challenge progresses onward. So that's how that works out. And this is the example. This is what I was talking about when I said I was going to possibly use 2 Dragonites in this. Because if you do a double battle, you have to do 2 of the same type of Pokemon. I think it's actually 2 of the exact same Pokemon. I'm pretty sure that's what I mentioned earlier. And so, once Kaiser becomes a Dragonite, I can have Kaiser as well as the other Dragonite, which I have since named Not Kaiser, and just sort of have the both of those sort of go through the double battle challenge, but I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be I'm not entirely sure if that's going to happen, so... that's about all I can really talk about in regards to the Battle Frontier. I know the second half of this segment kind of just went down the drain. This whole segment wasn't really that interesting, but I needed to get it out of the way. I needed to get some more Pokemon caught, and so I believe I can... The question now is, do I actually want to do the Battle Frontier tomorrow? Because it's either going to be that, or I'm going to go for the first segment. Because it's either going to be that, or I'm going to be charging towards the Elite Four with my team of shenanigans. I'm losing my ability to talk. To clarify, tomorrow I'm either doing the Battle Frontier, or I'm going to be going across routes 27 and 26 up till Victory Road. It's probably going to be the Battle Frontier, because I really want to give this Dragonite a crack. So, yeah, I could actually go and have a look at the stuff in Route 27 and 26. I don't think there's too much there that I don't already have. I can't pick up any Meridian or Pastoral Sound stuff because that area counts as Kanto, and so I don't actually get any radio reception from Johto, so I can't actually get those until the post-game. So, yeah, probably not going to be much point in going in that direction for Monday, so unless I just decide otherwise, next time we'll be checking out at least part of the Battle Frontier. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to get through everything in there, but we'll just have to see what the future has in stock for us tomorrow then, because I've been rambling and I need to bring this segment to a close. So, apologies for the random... I feel like it's a cop-out of the segment, but whatever. I will see you tomorrow.